everybody. It's your girl, April Marie. Thank you so much for coming and welcome to Handle Her with Care podcast. Before we get started, I just want to say shout out to 661 Creator Space, the place where I record my podcast, the place that takes great care of me and makes sure that all of my multimedia needs are met. I super appreciate you guys. You're always so professional and on point. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also to my show sponsor, My Hair Honey. You can find us on Instagram at My Hair Honey. We have hair growth oil that is phenomenal. You can use it everywhere because it's 100% raw and organic. And I also developed a new formula. Okay, yes, thank you, new formula. It is going to be coming out this summer. It is a anti-aging serum, okay? So we would drop it in our scalp, do the same thing as we do with the growth oil, but it is actually helping to keep our hair from turning gray. It is like a warm, soft hug for your follicle. And we'll get into that later for sure. But be on the lookout for that. So at My Hair Honey on Instagram is how you can follow and you can get your products, okay? So I'm so excited about the topic today because I have had some crazy experiences lately. Okay, I want you all to really just buckle up for this. I am a millennial. Okay, I have raised a Gen Z person, young man. Okay, I also have another generation, a Gen Alpha. If you guys don't understand the differences between these generations, it's like baby boomers, then I believe it's Gen X. Yep. Then it goes to millennial. Then it goes to Gen Z. And then now the newest ones are Gen Alpha. Okay. And so in my home, we have three generations. So I'm a millennial. Caleb, my oldest, is Gen Z. And then my youngest is Generation Alpha. All of us have very, 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 very different ways of handling things, doing things, thinking, the patterns of thought, okay? The way that we handle things and do things. I have raised them both. I am their mother. But for whatever reason, it's this generation thing, it's this internet thing, right? It's this phone, this tablet thing that is just so annoying, right? Like the language, the slow to move, like I say, go do. And now I'm talking about Gen Alpha. We're talking about Gen Z today, though. Slow to move. Gen Z is very serious about boundaries, right? They're very intentional with their time and how they use it. They're not concerned with you and anything that you have to say. They give you this look, this facial expression that is completely expressionless. And at that moment to just shut the bleep up and get out of their face. That's what it feels like. If I'm at a restaurant and I have a waitress or a waiter or a server, anybody who is Gen Z, I know the service that I'm going to get. And it's probably going to be very short, sweet, or not sweet, but short for sure. Like we're not going to have prolonged conversation. You're not going to sit up in my face and ha ha he and kiki. No. It's short, sweet, and to the point because my time is just as valuable as yours and I'm not interested in placating you. That's how they come off. That is how it feels. I'm a millennial. I'm a business owner. So when I'm dealing with my customers, I'm like, oh my goodness, and yes, and that. When Gen Z is dealing with you and when I hire Gen Z employees, they are like, how can I help you? Well, let me check. I'm like, what? Put some little bit of love on that, please, because we want these people to come back. How can you maintain a customer base in a business, like this? I just don't understand. I was just asking the lady for a clean fork. And she okay, perfect. I'm at a restaurant. Me and my sister were having cocktails. We ordered some appies, okay? Some appetizers. It was flowing. It was a good vibe. Our waitress was a Gen Z girl. She was sweet, though. at first. And then I feel like we asked her one too many things. I think that's what happened. And when I said, "Oh, excuse me," and she stopped maybe like mid floor, which was not near our table. And she kind of just turned like, "Yeah." And that's what she said, "Yeah," with her eyebrows raised. And I said, I just need a fork. And she was like, "Okay." When I tell you, I was like, I don't think I want this fork. I don't think I want this fork from this girl. Like the customer service or just the overall vibe of Gen Z is extremely intense. And let's get into what this is. So Google defines Gen Z stare, which we've all encountered. It's a term that people use mostly online to describe the blank, neutral, unreactive facial expression, usually from a Gen Z individual. So during social interactions, especially in situations where older generations expect more enthusiasm or just communicative response or conversation. Like there is none of that, right? So the stare, and I'm going to show you on the screen the stare. Because what? OMG. Right? So there's little to no facial reaction, minimal eye expression, and there's no forced smiling. Like you're not going to get them to smile at you. You're not going to get them to acknowledge that you light up their life in any way. Okay? You got to work for it. You got to be like, hey, hey. Because what? Why are you like this? What is this expressionless thing? So it's often paired with a short or direct response. Hence my waitress. I'm like, hey, can I just have a fork? And she's like, yeah. Okay. Why? Don't do me like that. Be sweet. Okay, so basically, the reactions that we have as, millennials, right? Or Gen X is just complete shock, dismay. It's totally seen as disrespect. There's just no way of really, honestly, it makes me just want to wash my hands of the generation. It doesn't make me want to dive deep. It doesn't make me want to help. It makes me tired. If a Generation Z person is watching this, and if you are guilty of the stare, right, and of the responses that give pause and make everybody in the room cringe and uncomfortable, if you are guilty of that, understand that it's because we have been raised as the upperclassmen in this life, right? To be respectful and to be conscious of our responsiveness, the timing of the responsiveness, right? Because there's a time that you can respond that lets the person know that you heard them and that you understand and that you care enough to respond quicker than that. Because what you're leaving is a pause in the air. You're leaving that pause because you want us to feel uncomfortable. You don't want us to ask you any more questions. So that pause, that stare, and that silence says, shut the F up. Leave me the F alone. Stop effing talking. I got too much going on up here and I'm not trying to talk to you. And the way we translate that is, oh my God, get these kids away from me. They hate us and I don't want anything to do with them. Like, I'm not going to teach them. I'm not going to train them. Like, it's both parties. We're missing out on some really, really, really dope interactions because we can't stand it. The upperclassmen of life cannot stand this disrespect. So I have to beg the question now that I'm sitting in the seat of a podcast host, sitting in the seat of a self-care coach, right? Is it disrespect or is it self-preservation? Okay, follow me here. I don't know. So the Gen Z tends to have a different value when it comes to authenticity over performative politeness, right? They're less likely to fake excitement, laugh on cue, or over engage socially. Okay. So a lot of younger people are protecting their energy, right? Because we're right now we're getting into the burnout plus the emotional boundaries of it all. So a lot of younger people are into protecting their energy, avoiding emotional labor, especially in service jobs. Exactly what I just talked about with my server, my waitress. Like, she was not here for it, right? And not overextending themselves socially. So the stare can be a form of I'm present, but I'm not performing. I can hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, but it's costing me too much energy to respond with my face. Yes, I heard you, but I don't care. Right? And so you know, there's that. So I think with the digital upbringing though, when you're growing up online, because that's exactly the point that I'm hitting right now. You know, there's less pressure for constant face-to-face reactions. So you don't have to respond with your face if you're responding with your mouth. However, you know, I learned that communication, my dad, he always said communication is only 7% verbal. The rest of it is like a physical response of some kind that gives the person that you're in conversation with, the cue, the social cue that something's going on or happening with you, right? So it doesn't have to say, if I ask you, are you okay? And you respond with, yeah. What? Are you really? Blink twice if you're really okay. I don't know, because you gave me no physical indication like, yeah, I'm good. I'm okay. Right. Like, so there's a softness, there's a warmth that comes when you respond that way. Right. So, thus pressure for constant face-to-face reactions. We know and understand that. Okay. Their comfort with silence or minimal expression, and it's more direct and less embellished communication, which could equal for a lot of people a softer existence. Hmm. Because, you know, it can be work to over communicate. It can be a lot of work to over express, you know. And as an extrovert, omnivert sometimes, right? So I can go between introvert and extrovert, or sometimes I'm turned up, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm extroverted all the way. That's where we going, you know? And so it can be very difficult for me to sit with a Gen Z because all I do is overperform. All I do is give energy. All I do is want to talk and overly discuss a topic that could be something, you know, like, oh, we could just go deeper and deeper. And if you're sitting with someone who is doing these things, right? So doesn't do a lot of constant face-to-face reactions, you know, comfort with silence and minimal expression, or someone who is a more direct communicator, so it's less embellished communication, it seems really heavy. It seems very hard, and it's something that I don't want to do. Me. I don't like it. I like to communicate with people that give me the reciprocal energy so that it can flow. Okay? That's me. So now my next point, right? Sometimes it's misunderstood. Big time. I can't tell you how many misunderstandings I've had. And when I tell you I hate to be misunderstood and I don't like misunderstanding others, it is real. Like, I don't like it. So if I'm sitting with someone or I'm talking with someone and they're expressionless, very low monotone tone, and then very limited verbal interactions, I don't have like, there's no cues for me. And the signaling is off. And I'm like, are you okay? Are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. That's the response. Yes, I'm fine. Yes, I'm okay. And I say, okay. And okay, but your response has to match what you're saying. Your physical has to match. I can't read it if it's just monotone and expressionless. It doesn't compute that you're actually okay. Like your physical and your verbal and your mental should at least line up so that it's an actual indication or a cue that you're okay. And my son told me, because he is more of an introvert and he's also a Gen Z, excuse me, he told me that, oh, hold on. There was nothing wrong with him. Excuse me. Yeah. There was nothing wrong with him, and that I needed to like just allow him to process. And I was like, process? This was a new word for me. Because, baby, I didn't have time to process. You asked me a question. My mother and my father asked me a question. If they asked me a question, there had to be an answer coming swiftly. Otherwise, it was seen as rude, right? Disinterested, disrespectful. And that was not tolerated. Now, when I was raising, and as I've been raising my kids, my sons, I didn't give that it was disrespectful. There was different types of punishments, more lenient, more of a softer raising. I wasn't hard and firm overly, I don't think. And so I allowed them at times because I wasn't allowed to, right? So I changed the game, and I think we all did, millennials and Generation X. We changed the game, right? We were not as firm with raising our children as the baby boomers were, which is why we are, accommodating and bending over backwards and overdoing and overperforming. So we have to try to find a way to meet in the middle so that we're not consistently understanding each other. But it was rude, disinterested, or disrespectful to my parents. So I couldn't do it. But when I looked at it, I'm like, well, let me let them a little self-expression. So now I see the error, right, of my ways. I mean, my kids, thank the Lord, are not any of these things: rude, disrespectful, or disinterested. And I love my younger son. He's Gen Alpha. I love his voice inflections. He still gives me ups and he still gives me downs. He just sounds to me like a little Disney character. I'm like, oh, Carter, because he's like, oh, wow, that's nice, Mom. Okay. Sometimes when he's trying to, throw his weight around, he'll give me a Gen Z stare or seem a little bit disinterested. But that's when I know something's wrong. So there's an indicator there. With my older son, he's pretty much even keel. This is Gen Z all the way through. I'm like, Caleb, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, fine. Okay, all right. Like, no, did something happen today? Are you at school? Is everything okay? And he's like, no, everything's good. Oh my God. I just start feeling like, OMG, they must be, something's happening, because that would, if I have a good day and everything's fine, April at Millennial more so is going to be like, okay, cool. That's, no, it was a good day. I'm good. It's all good. Or something weird happened today, but I'm going to blow it off, whatever. I'll tell you about it later. I don't feel like talking about it right now. We will over embellish. We will overdo it. And so what it is, though, is, so it comes off as rude, disinterested, and disrespectful. But what it often actually is, if we flush out our feelings and we get to what it actually is neutral, observant, because the Gen Z is observant as a mug. Honey, they might not say it, they might not react to it, but they saw it, period. Peeped it, and also made accommodations for it. These young folks, okay, I'm not even calling them kids because I don't want to disrespect them. They're adults now, and they got it. They do have a lot of things on lock. They're very intelligent, and I love it. I love watching it, but it is hard to interact. Okay. So it's neutral, observant, and emotionally regulated, right? They're not going to overgive. And that's that. And when they're tired, they go to sleep. They take naps. They're well rested. Their skin is like that taunt, like, like good collagen, because they're definitely drinking their water. A lot of them don't deal with any BS. Drama? Huh? Where? No, because I'm abstinent. I don't have sex because I be in my word, and I be cussing, and I be drinking coffee, and I be detoxing and getting rid of parasites and all the things that Gen Z be doing, okay? They crack me up. My feed is full of Gen Z, and I love it because I'm learning and I'm trying to process how they're making it. And to be honest, you know, I think they're doing pretty good. I think they're doing pretty good. I mean, you have your wild cards, but for the most part, what I'm seeing is trending upward as far as their ability to take care of themselves, regardless of like money. Like, yes, they're making money. They are making money. A lot of these girls and these guys, they are killing it. And then even if they're not, they're like, it's fine. I'm just gonna move to look, blank stare. Let me do a Gen Z for you. It's fine. I'm just gonna move to Thailand because I can live there for like $600 a month. And then I can just make my videos and like sell my content, and that's it. Cause I've had it. Like, I don't want to be here. Huh? Whoa. And then they do it. And then they're living this happy, bright life, waking up with steam and coconut water fresh from the coconut, right? Like Gen Z, I'm not jealous or nothing because I be doing my thing, but I understand, or I feel like I could understand how freeing it is to not be under the thumb of the expectations of everybody. Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel the freedom or what that would feel like to not have the expectations of the world, feel like the world is heavy on your shoulders. And even if it was on my shoulders, I'm going to shrug that off because it's weighing me down. It's making me tired. I would love to be able to be that casual in some ways, you know, because I think that it's freedom. I do. I do. I think it's freedom. Okay, so the deeper perspective, the Gen Z stare is really about a shift. We're shifting now, okay? From performative politeness to protecting personal energy. Come on, right? It challenges the idea that people, especially women, have to smile constantly, be overly expressive, and make others feel comfortable, even at their own expense. Exactly what I just explained. So hard, right? Like as a millennial, as a mother, as a business owner, I I am tired. And I feel overwhelmed sometimes just trying to communicate effectively, but still keep a customer happy, right? And then still be a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend, right? And then because we've been indoctrinated into living this very, very complex life of giving, 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 when you pull back, you lose people. When you pull back, people feel away. So then you continue to just accommodate, accommodate, accommodate. And that is so tiring. It's so heavy, right? Gen Z has it right to say, and if I lose you, at least I didn't lose myself. Oh my God. If that is not the aha moment of the century, even if I lose you, at least I didn't lose myself. I'm still here and I'm still winning, period. And I think that that's admirable. And I think that that's beautiful. And I think that that is the epitome of self love and self care. So it challenges the idea that people, especially women, have to smile consistently, be overly expressive, and make others feel comfortable, even at their own expense. I can safely say that with these three things, I can do better. I can be more Gen Z by doing these three things because I do overdo it a lot. And by the time the day is over, I am exhausted mentally and emotionally drained. It's all the things. Okay? And so I am going to make it a point to do better with this because I matter. And like I said, I may lose you. I may not retain, 500 customers, but my 300 are rocking with me because I didn't compromise myself in the process of keeping them. So I may lose some, but I'm not going to lose them all because I'm authentic to myself. And here's the other side of it. If I do lose a customer or a friend, or I'm using that word because I'm just using it as an example, right? But if I do lose someone, were they for me? If the reason why I've lost them is because I set up a boundary or because I did not overperform, I left my eyebrows in place and I wasn't like, oh, yes, hi, what can I do to help? Do you need that? Or can I just relax? Can I ground and center? And can I just talk with you? Right? Because if I lose you because I'm not overperforming, were you ever mine? Okay. So let's see where this comes from. Emotional burnout in younger generations, overstimulation, social media, work, and life, rejecting performative femininity, right? I have to cross my legs. I have to wear these high heels. I have to put on this blazer. I have to do this, do that, do this, put my hair up because I look younger when I do that. It's a lot. It's a lot. Women no longer wanting to overgive emotionally. That's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that when we are giving from our overflow, not from the reserve, right? So when we are giving and when we are loving, it's because I've already filled my own cup. I am already full. I'm now just being like, here, come sup from this table. I have filled and poured over and it's right here for you because I'm still good. I'm still good. I'm always going to make sure that I'm in a safe space, right? Because that is what we do here at Handle Her with Care. Her is you. You handle yourself with care. And it is literally like the manual for others to follow suit. Let's see. So here's a good point. This generation, Gen Z, is not interested in performing peace. They want to feel it. The connection they want is authentic. And to be honest, I can relate, to that because I be living in my thoughts too. Like when I'm working as a hairstylist and I constantly keep a pen and paper next to my desk because I'm constantly getting downloads and the Lord is dropping things in my spirit and I'm like, oh, let me write this down. Oh, I need to write this down. Right? And so sometimes, right, when I'm working and I'm doing someone's hair, and because I'm in my creative flow, I just feel very connected to God then. And so I'm just doing and I'm working and I'm thinking and I'm formulating and I'm dropping this and I'm doing that. And then I'll get something and I turn to write it down and then someone's talking to me about something so silly, right? Bless them. I'm not mad. It's your hair appointment. It's supposed to be jovial and fun. Someone says something and then I'm like, what? Oh, what? oh, okay. And because I'm raised in the generation that I was raised in, the responsive time needs to be swift in order for it not to seem disrespectful. The response needs to be upbeat, right? Jovial, kind, warm. And so that pulls from my energy. And now I'm like, wait a minute. What was I supposed to freaking write down? What was I supposed to say just now? Oh, I lost it because of this, because I'm doing this and I'm talking to this person and I should be focused here because this is, what really gives me my energy and like this is my passion, this podcasting, talking to you guys, this is my passion. And I'm trying to put down some notes and some thoughts that came to me and I lost it because I'm sitting here and I'm overperforming with you. And because I'm a millennial, I can't forsake that, my upbringing, because it's in the fabric and the thread of who I am. And so now I have to think, April, how do you set boundaries so that you don't become frustrated with people that it doesn't have anything to do with them? It's really just you needing to say, one moment, let me just hold on, give me 1 second. Write down your note and then turn back with a straight face and a open heart to say, okay, tell me now, what is it that you want? Because both of us matter. And I think that that's what Gen Z has correct. I matter as well. And I think that as millennials and Gen X, we have had the thought or the feeling like we'll be fine as long as everyone else is fine, especially the women. And that's just not true. Okay. So if that's how you think, and that's how I thought, and now that I have changed that, I don't think like that anymore because I know that we both matter in this moment, regardless of whether I'm in service to you or not. We both matter. Two queens. We're two queens in here. Yes. And we'll take care of each other. So if I ask you for a moment, please give me a moment and I'll be right with you. Because we're two queens here. Period. Okay. Okay. So let's see, y'all. Okay. So when I said it was they're protecting their energy, this is what I mean. So not reacting to everything equals peace. So not having to give a reaction like a physical, wow, that is so amazing. That's how I was raised, right? They wanted us to be like, yes, excited everywhere I went. It didn't matter where, like, oh, we did a pizza party. You're in school and it's like, oh, I had pizza last night. Dang. Like you were seen as ungrateful if you didn't respond excited. If you weren't like, wow, okay. So protecting your energy is not reacting to everything with so much energy. Reserve some. It's okay, right? Because we're not giving from our reserve. We're giving from our overflow. So if you have it, give it. If not, reserve. It's okay. Setting emotional boundaries. So not over-explaining yourself or giving the answer and then being done with it. OMG. I'm so guilty of not doing this. Like I over-explain everything, as you can see. I'm supposed to be done with my podcast every time at the 30-minute mark. And when I tell you it goes an hour, it goes an hour. But I love talking to y'all. And for whatever reason, it just always goes over. So, okay. But in life, in the bigger scheme of things, not over explaining myself. Well, I had to go to the market because I had to get, this and that, da, da, da. And I just checked myself because the other day, my mom asked me a question. And when I tell you, I told her the rundown from top to bottom. Like it was insane. I said, what? Girl. And I stopped myself probably almost towards the end of this whole, just ran it all down. I stopped myself and I said, girl, in my head, I didn't say it to my mom. I said, girl, why are you doing this? I said, stop explaining yourself. You are 41 years old. You don't have to do it like this because she didn't even ask you all them questions. And you just over explaining, just giving the energy and wondering why I was panting and needing water after. Why are you talking so much? Be quiet. That's what I told myself. Yes, I did. Give the answer and be done with it. Okay. Nervous system regulation. So we need to have less forced engagements. And that equals less stress. Huh. Whew. Right? Like, I don't want to go talk to these people. I just don't want to. And you know what? I'm not going to. I'm going to send an email. That is a way of reducing your stress, is not having interactions with people that are forced and going to make you feel uncomfortable. Send an email, send a text, get on the phone. You can handle business that way. It is the technology age. You do not have to have forced meetings. You do not have to feel uncomfortable. I mean, it's always nice to be pleasant and warm. However, if that is not going to bring you peace and lessen your stress, lower your cortisol, like we learned last week, then you need to find another way to engage so that it's not forced and causing you stress. And then authenticity, right? So stop faking those smiles and stop faking those vibes. Don't nobody want that. I know I don't. Please don't come around here fake and phony with it. It gives me lukewarm. It gives me disgusting. I like my food hot if it's supposed to be hot, and I like my food cold if it's supposed to be cold. Please do not come around here lukewarm. Come on. I don't want it. I prefer people that are for real. When you say that you care about me, I really want to know. I want to see it. I want to feel it. I don't want no fake Cheshire cat smile at me. It makes me feel uncomfortable, and you will be met with a raised brow. Like, what is that? Why are you doing that? It doesn't feel authentic. I don't like it. So I can safely say authenticity for me is huge. Like, even when you visit my Instagram, follow me, like, follow, share, subscribe, all the things, okay? But when you visit my Instagram, you can see the authenticity of my feed. I have had people say, you need to curate your feed, right? You need to do it like this. You need to do it like that. And I'm like, you know what? Honestly, rockstar_life, ROXSTARR_life. That's literally my lifestyle. I mean, it's a lifestyle feed. I'm showing cooking. I'm showing cleaning hacks. I'm showing fun, right, with my family. I'm showing my moments of chill. I'm talking on my stories about whatever show I'm watching, giving you the updates or whatever. Like, for me, it's an outlet, and it's an authentic one. And I don't do a lot of editing. I don't do a lot of cutting and pasting. I don't like that. If I can't show you who I am, if I can't show you the different things that's going on, then I'm going to delete all this, because I just want it to be real. And that's it. So it's hard for me to get into the space of, just curating content to make money. I make money doing the things that I do, thank God. But man, if I had to make doing my social media job, I probably wouldn't appreciate it so much. Now, they can pay me. Amen, right? Like, come on with it. I love a check. However, I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I just enjoy inspiring people. I enjoy allowing people to kind of see a window into this nice Black mama, single mama of 2 young men, that it's possible to still have a very full life. I'm not braggadocious. I'm not sharing because I want you to be like me or want to be like me. No. I want you to be like you, and I want you to be the dopest version of yourself. I want you to live authentically. I want you to have everything that God has promised you. I want you to live big. I want you to live out loud and large, regardless of your budget. I want you to have all of the things, period. And so when I'm showing you the different things that I'm doing on my feed, I'm not performing, I'm not faking. And I think that that's why I enjoy it so much. That's even why when I enjoy talking on this podcast. The goal is to get subscribers and to get people to tune in. And I love that. And every day I'm just be like, oh, somebody subscribe. Oh, somebody subscribe. That's such a blessing, because I really do curate these episodes myself. I sit up and I'd be just typing and going because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the real, the authenticity. And that's not draining. That actually boosts me up. Okay. And so hopefully my prayer is that it does the same for you, boo. Okay. All right. So those were all the good things. Those were all the green flags when it comes to the Gen Z. The cons can be that you can come off cold or disconnected. Okay. So relationships and retention of those relationships do require warmth. Now, I'm not saying that you need to overproduce the warmth, but they do require some. Avoidance disguised as peace. So not everything has to be ignored, y'all. Some things you got to tap in, and it might feel heavy. It might be stressful. It might be a little bit overwhelming because you're used to solitude. However, you cannot ignore everything. Okay? Got to tap in. Lack of communication. So silence can confuse people. Sometimes it's not your job to decode and help everybody with their confusion, but it is a positive thing to not leave people in a constant state of confusion when it pertains to you. You do want to provide some clarity, right? So, I would text people that are Gen Z, and when I would see them in their face, and I say, "Hey, I text you," and they would say, "Oh yeah, I saw your text." What? I said, "Oh, okay. So, what did you think about that? Would I text you?" Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? So I don't like to be confused. I don't like misunderstandings. So a lot of times I will opt to not communicate with you. And you don't want to be isolated because you do want information, right? We do seek wisdom. And a lot of wisdom we can get from people before us. Very important. Very. This is very important. Wisdom and like learning traditions, and not only just traditions, because some are good and some are bad, but just kind of learning some of the things that went before us. I was talking to a Gen Z individual a few weeks back, and it was like, we're at war, right? And then, we have this happening and that happening in the war. Okay. And, I know you travel a lot, so you need to be careful because, there's, guys out there and women, right, that are trafficking. So you got to be careful. It's like, really? Girl, I don't even be paying attention to that. And I said, to what? Don't be paying attention to what? That's not just paying attention. That's just being present. Can't ignore it. We have to be present. Okay? Silence can be confusing. Stop confusing people. Break the silence to give clarity, and then don't overperform and move on. Okay. Missed connection opportunities. This is exactly what I was just talking about. So not everyone is draining. Okay. Some people are aligned, but you can miss it if you're not tuned in. So if you're not tapped in, you will miss the moment that you needed to ignite your career, right? Your family. If you're having children at this age, your children, you can miss because you're out of alignment. It's okay to be tuned in without being emotionally, overthrown. Oh, I wanted to sip. It's okay. You can tune in and not overgive. I think that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. You can tune in, but not overgive, because it's important that we stay tapped in so that we don't miss our opportunity for more, for a level up, right? For something better, for something intentional and great. Like, we don't want that. So we only want to do the things that are going to benefit our life, big picture. So the soft life that all the girlies on my feed, the young women are chasing, It's not about shutting down. It's about showing up intentionally. So instead of, for all of the millennials and the Gen X, actually, this is for us. So it's not about not, being expressionless or trying to mock Gen Z in their efforts to preserve their energy. No, but I like to learn from everybody. And so what I can learn from Gen Z as a millennial parent of Gen Z and all of that going on, I can ask myself 3 questions. All right, I'm used to overperforming. I'm used to overgiving. I'm used to giving from a very, very low empty place, right? I mean, that's why I started this podcast. We need to fill our own cups. So does this deserve my energy? Like my intense energy? Is this interaction going to serve, right? So does this deserve my energy? Am I responding from peace or pressure? That's a great question. That's a great question, right? Like, okay, what radiated through my body when I said this, yes? Was it an enthusiastic yes? Or was it a trepidatious, concerned, with angst yes? I don't want those yeses anymore. I only want the kind that serve me and that feel like a yes. I want to be enthusiastic about that. And then the third thing is, am I being avoidant or intentional? So am I avoiding something that I don't need to necessarily avoid, but I need to deal with? Or am I just being intentional? Like, you know what? This doesn't deserve my energy. I'm responding out of peace intentionally because I want to shut this down. Boom. I don't want to revisit this. I won't be revisiting. So I'm preserving my energy by saying absolutely no. The answer is no. I'm responding from peace because I know my priority right now is under my heating blanket at my house with Netflix on. And I'm not being avoidant. I'm being authentic and intentional with my time. And I can do that because it's my time. There we go. And boom, right? I just want to say that if we didn't gain anything, those last 3 things, that hits home for me. That hits home for me because so many times I respond out of pressure. Come on. Like, okay, for instance, let me just say this and then I'm done. We were out having drinks, me and my sister. I'm gonna have her back because we be having such a good time on here. But having drinks with Steph, and she's like, and her friends, they're like, finish your drink down to the quick, get it to the ice. And I don't do that. Right? Like I have I have given into the pressures of the peer pressures of finishing my drinks. And I heard there was a man that was at the event, whatever, we were out together. And I heard him say, "Oh no, I'm done. Y'all can do whatever it is that you want to do. I don't drink until you say I'm done when I'm done. And if I leave a whole entire beer here after one sip, I took that sip and it counted for me. Now, it's my money, right? If I wasted it on this whole beer, it's not a waste because I enjoyed my sip. And that's my prerogative. Ain't that the truth? I love that. And I said, okay, amen. I'm sticking to that. If I order this cocktail and I get to three sips off my straw, and that's enough, that's enough. So my sister and her friends, they're like, come on, you gotta take another sip. Come on, sip. Take. I'm like, no, actually, no. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just ready to. I'm just ready to go. So I'm just gonna go. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a big girl. Like I told them no. And then I actually left and I left my drink because I'm grown and I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's freedom. It's freedom. And that is the thing that I mostly wanted to communicate to you all today is that Gen Z, we raised them. We're millennial parents. We raised them to have freedom. Now, they did do a little something extra to it. They tweaked it a little bit, and that's all right. But I want to bring it back to us to say, how can we learn from who we raised? And the way we can do that is by asking these questions. Does this deserve my energy? Am I responding from peace or pressure? Or am I being avoidant or intentional? The goal is to always be intentional, right? So handle yourself with care does not mean to become distant. It means become discerning, right? You don't owe anyone performance, forced energy, or constant access. But you do deserve connection, warmth, and safe relationships. That concludes the topic for today. And I'm just like so full. I feel so full. And I hope that it served you as well. Connect with me, subscribe, watch my podcast on YouTube, and stream it wherever you listen. Okay. Please visit my website, www.aprilmarieholland.com. You can find so many different things there. The hub for all of the social platforms that I have, as well as you can subscribe to Lovey's House. That is where I read children's books to kids, bedtime stories to children on YouTube. Please, if you have kids, tune in. It's such a good time, And so then you can also book a hair appointment if you're in the Lancaster, Palmdale area and you decide, I want this nice lady who's a self-care coach to self-care coach me through my hair care process. I got you. Okay. You can book a hair appointment there. And then you can also grab this podcast, Handle Her With Care podcast. Listen, follow, and share on the website too. So if you're there and you're looking through all of the things that you can do, you can also do this. Okay. Next, Radiance Reset Retreat in Tulum, Mexico. This is April 15th through the 19th, 2027. Next year, folks, okay? So remember yourself and return to the woman you silenced, forgot, or have ignored. Hello. Right? Guilty. This retreat is intentional self-restorative care at its finest. Curated by yours truly, April Marie, and my co-retreat host, Jonna Set Free White. Listen, it's going to be everything. We have all the things planned, and as women, we need to restore, heal, and thrive. We will be very present at the Radiance Reset Retreat. And don't forget, early bird specials are open now. Payment options are available, so you need to register online. Okay, grab your spot. Grab a friend, bring her with you because it's popping. Okay, it's going to happen. It's going to be beautiful. I cannot wait. Thank you for watching the Handle Her With Care podcast. Oh. Don't forget, I'm about to drop another set of my self-care journal, the Soft Space, the 90-day journal from surviving. Wait, there we go. A close-up. From surviving to softness, right? It's a self-reflective healing space for women. And it has prompts and it's beautiful on the inside, okay? The pages are lined. Oop, I had a card in there. The pages are lined. It is a wonderful time with yourself. There's checklists in here so that you can know what days and how you're doing as far as being on your self-care journey. There's stickers, okay, that you can put on your calendar so that you can mark the days and times that you were good to yourself. You deserve it. You can order this also on my website, okay? There's a link there and it will ship straight to you, or I can deliver, or you can pick up. So that's that. I love y'all. I appreciate you taking the time to be with me today. It has been a blessing. It has been my pleasure. Always remember to handle yourself with care. And I love y'all. Bye. Mwah.